Yes, people. Welcome to Saeed TV and welcome back to the debate show. We are here. We're live. Crazy day in the Premier League. Leeds winning a last minute winner. Man City last minute goal in the Premier League against Fulham. All madness going on, man. And it just shows the show, man. You get me? This Premier League is nowhere. It's probably best league in the world, man, if you talk about entertainment wise. But big up to everybody who's here. We have got the Donny van der Beek debate, and we have brought a special guest in. We have Wes, who lives in Holland. So we thought, you know what? We need a Dutch representative. We need a Dutch Man United fan as well. So big up to Wes. Wes, how are you, man? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
No worries, man. No worries. And obviously, Statman Bays is in the building. Statman, what are you telling me?
I'm good. What are you saying?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad, man. Premier League. Wes, what do you think of it, man? Man City, Arsenal fans are going to be not happy. Leeds, it's a crazy day, man. Premier League, man.
It is a crazy day. I mean, to be honest, I've also watched a bit of German football, but I've kept City on, and I just thought they looked like it was inevitable that they would score, but I just thought, I don't think that they would get it. But I've seen the penalty at the end. It is a soft one, and also the keeper maybe could have saved it. It's not a good penalty Haaland took, but yeah, I mean, fantastic result for City. And Arsenal fans will be very disappointed. Yeah, of course. So mad day, but always good to see some good football.
Absolutely. People say there wasn't a red card. I think it was a red card.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. It might be shoulder to shoulder, but I thought it was aggressive. It was a bit kind of too much for me. And it's last man. You just don't do that in that position, Statman, do you? You're running the risk. Last man, red card. Even Guardiola, when I looked at his, facial expressions, he wasn't too happy. You just don't do that. He said. But you know what, though? I feel like you're going to make a point about Cancelo's defending. Sometimes it can be a bit rash, and then people then say Trent isn't, you know what I mean? Yeah, man.
If I speak, I'm in trouble, kind of thing. And I've been saying, I don't think Cancelo's that good defensively. Like, if people get onto Trent, people need to be getting onto Cancelo, but the energy is never the same. That's all I say.
Yeah, fair enough. That you know what, you got a good point, man. You've got a good point. So listen, Arsenal, it's up to them tomorrow, innit, to kind of do this tomorrow. Big Super Sunday. But listen, let's talk about Donny van der Beek, man. It's a very, very interesting topic. I want to hear the background before we hear, Donny van der Beek's form. But, I'm going to come up to you, Wes, first and foremost. Donny van der Beek, how's his career, as you've been watching it in Holland, what have you made of him so far in his career in terms of how he's developed, his background story, how he kind of caught the eye in Netherlands and obviously with Ajax?
Obviously, he's been through the youth system at Ajax, and he gradually played more. But when he came in in the first team in Ajax, he played different roles. He played number 10, number 6, number 8. So he was just a very versatile midfielder, and that's how I remember how he got in the team in the beginning. But seeing his development when he first came in and growing, and the confidence and the leadership he took at Ajax, it was great to see. And yeah, of course, he's been very important for the success that Ajax had when Ten Hag was at Ajax. Don't forget the Champions League run where Ajax got in the semi-final, which they should have been in the final, but it is what it is. But he played an important role in that with some clutch goals. I saw some random stat. I can't remember, but I think he scored like 4 or 5 away games back to back in the Champions League run. It was mad. Like he always scores. He has a touch on goal. Like it is crazy. But I think we will come to that shortly with maybe why people have written Donny off. But he can be a very, very valuable player, and he's very intelligent. So maybe it's a bit different than what we've been used to at United, especially from what I've watched, because I haven't told this, but I've started watching United properly since Van Gaal came there. So yeah, it's a very good player, and I think he's still valuable. And hopefully he can prove us that, because he also have to perform.
What do you reckon, Statman, in terms of people saying, is he good enough? A lot of people are starting to kind of write him off. Where are you? Where do you sit on Donny van de Beek? Forget about his performances for a second. Just as a general player, do Man United need him? Is he one of them signings we should have never got? Was he the wrong signing? Where are you on Donny van de Beek?
I think at that point when we signed him, we always needed a backup just in case Pogba and Bruno were injured, and Donny van de Beek was meant to be that guy. Yeah. The problem is, I feel like a player like Donny van de Beek is very hard to fit into the side that we've been over the last couple of years. Like, for me, Donny van de Beek, final third player, late runs into the box, little one touches here and there in the final third. That's where you're going to get the best out of Donny van de Beek. But we've never been a possession-based side. We've never, let's be honest, before this season, we've never been a side well coached, which is why, for example, someone like Bruno Fernandes in his position stands out a lot more, because Bruno's naturally more aggressive. Yeah, I think with Donny van de Beek, in terms of people writing him off, listen, like, let's not lie, his time at United has been very disappointing so far, but we're judging him on one game under Ten Hag so far, or one start. And that was a start coming back from injury. Against a Real Sociedad side that made it very tough in the central areas, because when Rashford came on, and he's been in good form this year, he also struggled in the same areas. Which is why, for me,
you're trying to say that the manager struggling to find a place to fit him in. Is that what you're trying to say?
With Ten Hag, we don't know, because Ten Hag, he's only been available for 1 or 2 games. And let's be honest, I think Bruno's done it right, which is why he's kept his place. So only time will tell. Like Donny van, we've seen it with this manager so far. If you play well, you will get given game time. He's shown it. We're playing at times with Luke Shaw Malacia, for example. Harry Maguire being dropped for Rafa Varane. Even Cristiano Ronaldo being dropped because Russia played better up top. If you play well, you will start. And that's why, listen, only time will tell, innit? Only time will tell. But Donny van de Beek as a player also needs to be doing more.
Well, for you, Wes, what's the qualities of Donny van de Beek that you think that he has that a lot of people are not looking at, you know what I mean, in terms of they still haven't seen or whatnot? What do you think his best qualities are? You talked about intelligence.
Yeah. I mean, what I mean by intelligence, I mean, it depends how you interpret it, but it just means awareness. I mean, where you are on the pitch, seeing the spaces in midfield, little pockets, knowing where your teammates are. That's what I mean with intelligence. And normally, Holland is very good in how do you say, in building up players. Like they're built up with the technical aspect. Maybe the physicality maybe lacks. That's why most players need a middle step before they go to a very physical league. But I mean, where I see his best position is right behind the striker, or that he can make runs in the box. Like, he is a very versatile, moving player, constantly moving. He is not static. And as someone as Dutch, and you see how we play with the national team now, and how Ajax used to play. There's always free throw running players on there. Always, maybe with City you see it also. There's always players moving. Always, there's always, as a defender. I mean, I can only think that it must be very difficult to defend against these sort of teams, because you never know where your opponent is, because they're always moving or changing positions, and that's where he's good at, filling in those spaces, like coming into the box on a late cross. That's where he's most valuable. Doesn't mean he can dictate the play or can play as a box to box, but he is more valuable higher up the pitch, close to the opponent's goal. That's what I would say, and that's what he's proven at Ajax.
I look at, for me, like I said to you, I don't know if he was meant to be. Like, you know how Bruno is been like kind of the linchpin of Man United for the last 2 years, in terms of everything has to go through him. Just imagine that was maybe Donny. Would we see a different style of play, Statman? Would we have seen Man United go through Donny and maybe the team be better, rather than the way it's been through Bruno? Is that we're trying to force the ball. Maybe it's in transition moments. Maybe it's kind of like pressing high up the pitch and stuff like that, where Bruno probably excels in the final third. Had it been, you know what I mean, Donny, do you reckon it would have been a different sort of outlook for Man United?
I don't think Donny's that sort of player that can kind of grab a game by the scruff of his neck like Bruno can. So I don't think
it would be a better team if Donny was maybe the catalyst for that. Do you think, or do you think it would have been the same because of the fact that he had Ollie. Maybe it was just bad luck then. You know what I mean? This and obviously now.
No, under Ollie, we would look worse with Donny in the 10 than Bruno.
Sorry?
I agree.
If we had Ollie, we would look worse with Donny van der Beek in the 10 than Bruno. Like, no matter what, we seen it in games when Bruno didn't play, we were lacking so much creativity.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, you said it perfectly. Like, it was freestyle football, and we needed a player like Bruno who was brave enough to get the ball, play passes.
Yeah.
Donny van der Beek, like you said it there, like he's literally just not that guy in terms of that sort of player, that profile. I've always said this, in my eyes, the way we see, if we are going to see Donny van der Beek succeed at Manchester United, it's probably going to be next year. Because next year we should start dominating games a bit more with the signing of potentially young, let's say.
People have no more, people don't have the same amount of patience.
Yeah.
Like, 2 bad games and it's over. So
yeah,
I don't understand that.
I can understand the patience thing, innit? But I'm just saying this is where, in my opinion, we see the best out of Donny van der Beek. We keep more possession. You get for someone like De Jong in, you move maybe 5-10 yards up, you have 5%, 10% more possession. You're going to get more opportunities in the final third. And if Donny van der Beek's the 10, you're going to see more opportunities where he succeeds in terms of those late runs into the box. But currently for this year, I'll be honest, I don't have much hope of Donny van der Beek personally.
What about you in terms of where should he play for you, Wes? Where would you want to see Donny van der Beek play in this Man United team? Do you think he's better than maybe an Eriksen in that position? A Bruno? But where would you play him if you were to play him?
Well, the way we're playing now, I mean, people forget that, as Statman said, Bruno and Donny are completely different sort of players. Like Bruno is more risky. He has more the pass over the defense. Like Donny's more keeping it more simple, more possession based. And we haven't been a possession team for a long time. So in the process we're in now, I would probably say he can do a good job in the Eriksen role, dictating the play. Maybe the simple passes between the lines. I think that's at the moment, but you've seen that Ten Hag knows at Ajax, and that's maybe the philosophy or the style he wants to implement here, that he sees him as an important player right behind the striker. But at the moment, Bruno is a little bit all over the pitch. He's not really number 10 at the moment. He has free roam. So yeah, I would probably play him at the Eriksen position. Maybe rotate him between there. But yeah, it's difficult. I think if we have more players that are possession based, like if you put Donny in the City team, and of course it's easy. I mean, everybody's always in the City team, but it's such a different team. I mean, Guardiola's built a possession-based philosophy and system, and if you put Donny in the City team, I'm sure you've got a lot of goals. Even though if he came on as a sub, that's what I think. So for at the moment, I agree with Stepman that if we get more players who can adapt to Ten Hag's philosophy, I think you will see a better Donny. So it's more about getting fit, being there, grab the opportunity here and there. But I think but we'll see, because in England compared to here in Holland, you don't get much time. You need to perform. That's a big difference. So it's a bit of a bit tricky.
I think that could be a positive impact. Maybe him and Eriksen Statman can alternate, positions. Because like I said, I still think Donny can have that in his game, or does he for you? Does he have the Eriksen part of his game where he can dictate and be a deep lying playmaker? Could he do that for you?
I think this is another one where I look at Eriksen and Donny van der Beek completely differently in terms of profiles. I think Eriksen probably has a better range in his passing than a Donny van der Beek. Like, let's be honest, Donny van der Beek, his short game is very good in terms of, like, you saw against Rayo Vallecano when him and Eriksen played together, like those 1-2s between them. That's where I think Donny van der Beek specializes. I don't know about him dropping deeper. Then can he, like, hit a long range pass, for example, that Eriksen can? I don't look at Donny van der Beek and say, yeah, you could do that. I just think he's way too passive in a way to kind of dictate games compared to Eriksen.
Yeah, he's more like the safe passer between the three. I agree, but I mean,
so is it a case of fitting Donny in is like trying to fit, was it square holes in round pegs, or the other way around? You know what I mean? Like, is that the way that we have to do with Donny? We try have to force it. way in for him when reality there is no way for Donny van der Beek. Like we can be honest on this channel. You know what I mean? Is it just one of them things that it just didn't work out at this football club and the manager is kind of trying to fit him in, but he just can't?
Maybe this, I don't know, but how many years has he been at United now? I mean, those 2 years or
2 years
now. Yeah, probably almost 1 year just flew by. I just didn't get why Solskjaer bought him in the first place. That's an whole different story. But hopefully, with Ten Hag now, he knows Donny. Maybe he can get more confidence, and maybe he can be important as a maybe sort of a hold up. Although he's not physical, but maybe you can pass the ball in his feet and maybe link up that way so you can attack. Maybe it's different than with Fernandes as a number 10, who's always looking for the over the top pass at the fast strikers. Maybe we will get more control. So you need to play different, I think, because those players are not the same. And we have been very reliant at the moment how we're playing, and especially the last few years, we needed the Fernandes to open things up. We needed who takes more risks. So it is a bit difficult, I must say. It's not so easy. And
would you start Donny van der Beek tomorrow, by the way?
Sorry?
Would you start Donny van der Beek tomorrow?
I was starting, but I don't think it will happen. This is the problem.
I think he will.
You think so? Yeah. I don't think he will. I think Ten Hag will go with probably Eriksen in the 10, and then play Casemiro or Fred in the two kind of like positions behind. I don't think he will play him. I just don't think he will. I think that game was a Europa League game. It was a game in isolation where he thought, let me give him minutes. So that I would personally start him and then play Eriksen a little bit more deeper and Casemiro. They've got 3 midfielders in there that can at least play ball and can have some possession when they need to. They can press when they need to. So it's actually a midfield three that has a bit of chemistry about it. So this is why I just feel like it's not going to happen. I don't know. I've just got this feeling that he won't go with that. But like I said, if he's not going to get tomorrow when Bruno is out, is he ever going to get a chance? If he doesn't start tomorrow, then it kind of like you kind of feel like it's just never going to happen. That's what I kind of get, Statman. If he doesn't start tomorrow, then it won't happen for him. And this is an unfortunate situation because Bruno plays every game, like every game.
I think it's a hard one, isn't it? I don't know if I start him tomorrow. I think it depends if obviously if Anthony / Sancho are back. Because I said this before, I wouldn't mind seeing. Remember what was it? Was it Sheriff? When in the second half, Rashford was basically playing in behind Ronaldo kind of thing, or them together up top.
Yeah.
Garnacho on the left, and I think it was Bruno on the right.
Yeah.
At that point, I wouldn't mind maybe something like that in terms of Garnacho on the left, on the right, maybe going with one of Anthony / Sancho if they fit, and then Ronaldo and Rashford up top, and then Casemiro and
then be right behind the striker, behind
Donny on the bench.
Oh,
because I'll be honest, I wouldn't be very confident with Donny van der Beek starting tomorrow.
Okay.
Why is that? Is that just generally he's not in form? Is he just not willing to take that risk? You know what I mean? Because you've got to start players somehow. The same level of risk that you're saying with Garnacho, why can't you take that same level of risk with Van der Beek?
Because Garnacho will do more. He will look more exciting. It will look like he was gonna.
That's it. So there's your answer then. A bit more exciting. So you think?
And for me,
Van der Beek's more exciting?
No, I just think he's too passive. And I've always said that. For me, perfect game on Thursday when we're playing Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup, that's a game for Donny van der Beek. But listen, tomorrow, new manager, Unai Emery, first game at Villa Park, that stadium's going to be up for it.
That's why you need Donny, though, to make them third-man runs. You need them intelligent runs in the box.
Yeah, but you also know Donny van der Beek's not really going to take the game by the scruff of the neck kind of thing.
Yeah, but I get that, but then we're kind of like then saying, right, then that's Bruno Fernandes' game sometimes, and maybe it's a bit too forceful. Right now, we probably need Donny to be in this game where he can make them late runs where, saying now, Eriksen's got the ball from deeper, then you get Donny who arrives late in the box. This is probably the game where you probably need him against a low block. That's just my own opinion, right?
And also, you need. We're not scoring as many goals, so we're probably. I mean, you have a goal scoring threat with Donny on, although he hasn't maybe shown that's the other thing. I agree with that, but he has the goal scoring opportunity, or he is he's one who can get a goal, and yeah. So I mean, we will see. I mean, if he doesn't start, he will get some minutes. That's for sure. I think, but I could be wrong. But it is difficult. But we will play differently than with Donny as a number 10 than with Bruno. That's for sure.
In Ajax, was he playing just behind a striker? Because he said that he likes to play across the front three, where's 8, 6,
Yeah,
10.
Yeah.
Just behind a striker.
Yeah, mainly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where he played with at Ajax the season that he got his transfer, like the season 2019 with the crazy Champions League run. That's where he played. Yeah, right behind the striker.
So is it a case of just how football is then, Statman, where a guy who's favoured you at Ajax and he's seen you, and you know, I mean, he's obviously started his career there. Obviously he was under a different manager before Ten Hag came in, but you know the gist of the score. Like the manager now, is he kind of putting a precedent saying, listen, I don't have favourites here? Is it a case of he feels like Donny van der Beek has actually gone worse since he's seen him? Like, do you reckon he's actually said to him, yo, like, I don't recognise this player. Like, what has happened to Donny? Like,
no, but he said that when he first came in, like Donny van der Beek has to prove himself at Manchester United. It's not Ajax now. It's a completely different environment.
True.
And listen, like as I said, like Ten Hag's barely had time to judge Donny van der Beek properly at United.
Yeah,
he's
true.
been injured for the majority of the part.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm saying. Like, I think when people say sell Donny van der Beek is way too reactionary kind of thing, isn't it? If they're just talking about last game, for example.
Yeah.
But listen, man, he needs to do more kind of thing, innit? He needs to do more.
He needs to be more active in the game and maybe somehow build some relationships with players that he will be there, because it's also trust and chemistry. I mean, that's where he needs to build on that, because you always see him pointing like, I'm just moving that way. And when players know you and you know and they know which runs they will make, you don't need to point where you want the ball. That's what I think. I just noticed that he's doing that a lot, and maybe at Ajax, I think at Ajax he did it also. But when you know each other, like, you don't have to communicate. Just know that he will be there. Like I just Pep Guardiola came to mind when he said that players need to know where Haaland always will be. And I think the same with Donny, that if he goes late in the box, cut the ball back, he will be there, or he will find some space. So it's chemistry, and of course it takes time, because he's been out injured for so long. New manager now, different system compared with Oli. So give him a little bit of time, but I agree with Stepman that he needs to be more active, more, maybe get the ball more, be more involved, do some more stuff than we've seen so far. And
for me, the promising side was, against Vallecano in pre-season.
Yeah,
that was the first time where I looked at Donny van der Beek and I'm like, yeah, you're a bit more aggressive.
Yes.
Even in the tackles, biting a bit more kind of thing. His link up with Eriksen and Ronaldo, that game was very good, isn't it?
Yeah.
He was moving very well. Defensively helped out. That's the Donny van der Beek I want to see. But we just don't see that side of Donny van der Beek enough.
I agree.
And this is the thing. We don't see it enough, and that's why I kind of like, I think for me, what my kind of, when you say a bit passive and whatnot, I think for me, his game isn't a game where it's very, very flashy, like, certain other players are. Could he be more involved in a game? Yes, but at the same time, the runs that he makes, and if that's going to be his kind of iconic moment, it is a lot of his game. So why are we not focused on that? Why are the players not being able to give him the ball when he's making them runs? Like what the players need to make, and help him out as well, you know what I mean, to kind of, produce more for Man United. And I don't think they're doing it. If they know that his game was, it's all about making them runs late into the box, intelligence and whatnot, we don't see it enough.
I agree, and that's what needs to be built in the training pitch and get to know each other. Like, if that relationship with maybe the front three or the midfield, and you get to know each other or trust each other more, you will gradually be more involved in the game because they'll know you'll be there, or they know you as a player, what you like to do, like do you want to get on what feet you want the ball, and etc. So those relationships are important, and that's, of course, Donny needs to do his part, but the team also needs to do their part to get to know you and to know where you will be. So yeah, I mean, I think he can be important and will be important, but as Stedman said, the Real Sociedad game was a perfect example of. I think in that game, I don't think he played as a 10. I think he played as an 8 and just moved it all about. But it was very impressive, that game, and you need to see that more. But I mean, as I said, I think he's more valuable for the team as a 10, but it doesn't mean he can play as a 6 or an 8. I mean, he's very versatile, but if you want to get the best out of him, I think you need him higher up the pitch to, maybe link up, maybe little triangles in there, or make some runs behind the defense. And you need the quality around you to give a pass like that. That's what is important to get your opponent off guard. And we seem too static or simple with in our attacking play. We're not dynamic enough. That's what I meant to say.
But as a team, we're still learning as a team, Statman, innit? So, like I said, he's still got time, you know what I mean, to prove it. Because at the end of the day, nobody's put like maybe Casemiro is probably the only player that we could say that deserves his spot. You know, I mean, obviously Eriksen will be rotated here and there, but the midfield is still working out. It's not a long-term midfield. It's a midfield that will work probably for the next 1 or 2 years before Man United then trying to tinker it around. So he still has time. He's still 25. You know what I mean? It's not as if he's a player that's past his best, still learning, still growing. So he still has time. You know what I mean? And other players have come out of nowhere. Dalot's improved. Ten Hag has improved a lot of players. You know, Rashford's improved as well under the manager. So he still has time to kind of do it. And there's still long season left. He probably won't make the World Cup. So then he has time away with the manager in Cadiz and obviously Real Betis when they go to Spain. So there is still time, isn't there?
I don't know, man. He's 25. If I'm Donny van de Beek, I want to be in the Euro squad as well for Holland.
I've just told you he's got time, Statman. So why are you saying he's not got time?
No. In terms of at United, because if I'm Donny van de Beek, I'd want to leave United as well still. If he's not getting consistent minutes at the end of this year, the Euro squad, for example, that's going to come in the next 2 years, Donny van de Beek has to play to get in.
Yeah.
He might just say, you know what, physicality-wise, the Premier League might be a bit too much for me or something, innit? And just say, yeah, let me just cut ties with United and join another club. Like Ten Hag will give him opportunities to succeed. If he doesn't take them, come on, man. Like you kind of do have to worry about your own career as well.
Who said we can't improve? Like, is that a fair point? Whereas at 25, he won't be able to improve. We see players that arrive, you know, late in their careers.
Van Dijk is a perfect example. Very late. Yeah, I mean, I've seen the overlap. I don't know if you've seen the overlap.
I've watched it. Yeah, started at 27.
Brilliant episode. But Van Dijk is a player who had a late rise in a professional career. So it's a lot of nonsense that players can't be improved past a certain age. I mean,
even Sai's boy De Gea improved.
I mean, of course, I mean, he can be improved, and it needs to be down to him and the coach as well. But it's basing it on age. I don't agree with this. So that's
This Abdishek, you're moving mad, mate. You need to chill. But yeah, listen, I think for me, someone says he's talking about defender, but then you know what I mean. The same logic can be applied to a midfielder. Midfielders can play until they're late. You know what I mean? I think Donny can play until he's at least early 30s. So then 25 to about 32, you got 7 years there. You know what I mean? It's still a long time in football, 7 years to be at your top. And a guy who's very, very intelligent as well probably could play a bit more longer. So listen, there is time, man, for Donny van de Beek. It's just, again, whether Ten Hag is patient enough, whether the club is patient enough, you know what I mean? Because like I said, I think the only solution right now would be to loan him out again before a club buys him out. Like, we're not going to get a handsome amount of money for Donny van de Beek when he's not played for a while. You know what I mean? Let's be real. We're not. So, would you loan him out in January, or would you sell him if you had a choice in January?
I mean, he needs game time, that's for sure. And I agree with Stedman that maybe if his choice is to be maybe get to the national team more, or when Koeman takes over, or be more involved, he needs game time. And if he can't be if he can't get in a team often enough and he decides that he wants to leave, then maybe he should leave. But writing him off is, I think it's a bit too soon. It also depends, like if Ten Hag sees him as a very valuable player for pressing, or how he sees his future with Van der Beek. That those factors are all important. But would I loan him out in January? No. And the simple reason is we've got a shitload of games from January to May. So he will get loads of chances and loads of game time, I think. And the injuries we've already picked up with certain players, I think they will only get more. We will get more injuries. I think that's inevitable. And so yeah, I wouldn't loan him out at this time.
Guys, let's make sure we are liking the video. I know you guys are watching the video, but please like the video. Like, it costs you nothing to like the video. We're only on 70 likes, 250 watching. Come on, let's get the likes up, people. But I think Statman, you know what I mean? There are people that are saying, you know, Claire says selling him, use the money for a striker would be a smart move. It is another way of raising the funds. But like I said, you know what I mean? Yeah. What's his actual price tag, Statman? Right now, there is no... You can't, you know what I mean, unless you loan him out, you know what I mean, that's about it, really. You can't really, you know, sell him at this minute.
I think we bought him for 35 million, was it?
Yeah.
We're not getting that.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you're probably getting something in around the 15 to 20 mark right now.
Nah, 20 will, I think I think you can do that. But I mean, I'm not against selling him if he wants to go. I mean, what I think it's also good to point out, why are we selling him? Is it because he doesn't play enough? I mean, they can apply the same argument against Fred. He's also not playing that regular, or other players. Do we need to sell them as well? I mean, you see where I'm coming from. But I mean, I think you can still get a nice fee if you want to use the fee for a striker, and we need a striker. That's clear, as Ten Hag always says.
Yeah, man. Big up Adam Fahimi. Sorry I couldn't make it today, guys. Much love. We'll try and be there next week. Get the likes up, people. Yeah, man. Big up to Adam Fahimi, always in the chat. You know, like I said, you know what it is, yeah, man. I just feel like it's a very sticky situation. You know what I mean? He does need tomorrow. Like, people don't understand the importance of him starting tomorrow. Like, if he starts tomorrow and has a very, very impactful performance, you know what I mean? I'm not saying Bruno doesn't come straight back into the team, but it does give the manager food for thought. It does give him a kind of a realization that, wow, that was a massive, strong performance. Let me repay his good performance. But again, you know what I mean? With the fact that what he gives you, Bruno Fernandes, he gives you a lot of running, he gives you a lot of gives you a lot of press, that man. And that's something that right now is invaluable to Ten Hag. Like, it is. And I think maybe the fact that we do see, you know, Donny a little bit more passive than Bruno, it's a case of right now what the manager wants is that he wants that continuity that Bruno has given us. It's as simple as that.
And the main thing is Bruno's reliable in terms of he's missed one game since he joined Manchester United.
Yeah.
Like we always say, the best ability is availability. A manager can only build a midfield if people are reliable.
Yeah.
We can't say that about Donny van der Beek so far this season because he's been injured for majority of it. But at the same time, as I said, like, and West said, he's going to get opportunities. We have so many games. We've got extra 2 games because of the Europa League playoffs now.
Yeah.
We've got the FA Cup coming back in January or February. We've got the League Cup starting Thursday. He's going to get plenty of time to perform. And if he performs, listen, that's the best thing in it for everyone, literally.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We have got a game tomorrow. Where's tomorrow? Aston Villa, big game. Are you fearing the manager bounce? The manager bounce tomorrow? Yeah, big manager bounce tomorrow. You know, Unai Emery, top coach. I think is a top coach. Whether he suits the Premier League, I'm not sure, but big game tomorrow, man. You know, I mean, when everyone else is playing, this is where we need to take advantage. It would be Man United like to kind of drop points tomorrow. It generally would.
I think against Real Sociedad, we've seen. I think you noticed that we were a little bit tired. That's what I think. So, and your point with Aston Villa getting a new manager in Unai Emery, who is, I agree with you. He's a fantastic coach, and he showed that with Villarreal, with the material he had there and the funds. I mean, he played some good football at times, but also was very organized. And I think you will see the same against Villa. And the home record for Villa, even though that was with Gerrard, was not that bad actually. So it's going to be difficult. I just think we're too tired. We don't have the squad depth quality wise, I think, to make some changes and surprise opponents. But the thing is, with a new manager, you don't know what you're. Of course, you know what Emery is about, but you don't know how he's going to set up with Aston Villa. So it will be difficult, and Aston Villa will be up for it. The crowd will be up for it, and I expect a high intensity game. And I think it's as simple as the first goal is crucial. If we go 1-0 down very quick, maybe get the second down quick because they're all over us, and maybe that can happen. We've seen it happen. Then I just don't see us. To have the capability to come back and win the game. So I just don't think at the moment we will win the game. I just think a draw will be maximum. Maybe I'm a bit negative, or I don't know, but I just and also the fact is why I say that is we're not scoring enough goals. And Ten Hag said it as well. We defensively we're solid and we're building on the defense, but we're not getting enough through the attack and getting enough clear-cut chances. So it will be difficult. If we win, I think it just will be a 1-0 or 2-1. I just don't think we will just better them 3-0 and game over and have a good day. I don't think that will happen. I think we will get a result, and I think it will be a draw. I think it will be 1-1.
Yep, absolutely. Statman, how are you thinking this game will be tomorrow? Because I feel like for me, the first 20 minutes will be crucial. If their intensity is very, very high, United can't cope with it and don't come out the blocks. Similar to game, I feel like it could be a similar game to Brentford, where if they score 1 or 2 goals early on, we might be blown away, man. And that's the worry for me, because we have conceded a lot of goals this year in terms of the early part, in terms of Man City, in terms of when we do concede the first 2 goals, you just don't know what's going to happen with this Man United team.
Yeah, but I don't think we would concede the first 2 goals. I have so much faith in our defense right now. Martinez is looking at one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League. Next to him, he's probably going to start Victor Lindelof. Dalot defensively is calm. Luke Shaw is probably, in very, very good form kind of thing, isn't it? I think the main thing is going to be if Sancho/Anthony are back, because we need someone to play that right-hand side. I think other than that, like you lot said, it's going to be a grind. We don't know how Villa are going to say, we even saw, remember last year when we played them under Ralph? When I think it was Coutinho's first game.
Yeah.
Coutinho's first game. That stadium was up for it.
Yep.
And you never, like you said it, first 20 minutes will say a lot about this game. We just need to kind of see out the first 20. Then hopefully we're probably not going to create a lot, but the 1 or 2 chances that we do get, hopefully we take. And then defensively, we just do our thing and keep a clean sheet again.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we need to be clinical with the chances we get. We've not been creating that much chances, and if we get them, we need to grab the opportunity and put them away. That's what we need to do. So
I think
we need to match the intensity of them.
I think this comment here is a good comment. Lack of ball carried ability shows, especially on away days. That's the key thing as well. We don't want to be sitting back against a team like this who will have a lot of high energy, high press. So it's gonna be interesting, man. I think a lot of our players have played a lot of games in that midfield. Last couple of games, McTominay and Fred have been sat out and rested. You don't want to bring him back into this game where, again, it could be, like a very, very high octane game. So I feel like for me, it's weathering the storm in this game and coming out again like the West Ham game. Like, I'm not really looking at the performance in this game. It's a results one as well. This one, last 2 games, I couldn't care less how we do, man. Just get into this last into the World Cup with maximum points, because if we don't, we'll be looking at this thinking, damn, man, we let Chelsea, Liverpool claw back in, and we don't need to do that, man. So tomorrow, it has to be a win by all means necessary. But can United do that? Do we have enough firepower as well? Because at the minute, Anthony, I don't know if he's out. Has the manager come out and said anything so far yet?
I don't think so. Maybe I can check, but I don't think he is. I don't think he updated. I think he said in his press conference that he needs to wait if everyone is available at the front line. So yeah. Ten Hag, as you know, if you've seen his press conference, he always keeps his cards close to him. He doesn't give that much away, in my opinion, with the duration of injuries or availability. But yeah, it's going to be difficult. We need to match the intensity, and the previous person had a very good point that the ball carrying at the away games is not good, and that's what Ten Hag mentioned at Chelsea second half and Sociedad as well. He wanted to bring more attacking options, but he saw that we were just very poor in possession. We're not moving the ball good enough, and we need to do that better. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think for me, I think we just need that. We need that attacking option, Statman. Anthony, we've just lacked a bit of firepower. Especially second half against West Ham. The reason why we didn't really do much is because we had Bruno playing on the right, McTominay playing on the right one time. Just didn't have enough creative outlet, man, to go push up the pitch. And people say, "Oh, Anthony's not been playing that great," but we still did something with him. You know what I mean? It's still a direct threat, isn't it?
Still better than Elanga or whoever starts on the right hand side. But I also do think our midfield is still a massive problem. I'm adamant. I don't think Christian Eriksen has been good over the last 2 to 3 games. Even against West Ham, brilliant assist. But I did agree with you. I don't think he was good before that.
I said that. Yeah.
And let's be honest, against Real Sociedad, he was poor.
Yeah.
Probably one of our worst players on the pitch that day. And I think that's, don't get me wrong, from a defensive point of view, in terms of our midfield, has massively improved. But in terms of still controlling games, I still do think we could do a bit better in the midfield area.
Do we need Fred, by the way, because of his intensity and energy he brings? Like we've seen against Tottenham? Is Fred an option?
I think both Fred and McTominay could be an option tomorrow, or like one of them at least, in it, because Bruno's out. But I don't know what Ten Hag's going to do.
Has Bruno not played a game this season? Apart from this, what has he gone with when Bruno's been rested? I don't think he has rested him for a game, has he?
Yeah, he's played every single game, isn't it?
Yeah, he's played every. Yeah, same with Daloa. I'm right.
Wow. So he hasn't. That's what I'm saying. So we don't actually know what Ten Hag would do when he hasn't got certain players there, because he plays them all the time. I'm sure he didn't play against. Or did he actually play? There was one game where he came off the bench in the Europa League game. I'm sure Bruno wasn't starting that game. Let us know in the chat, people.
I don't know.
There's a game where Bruno came off the bench. I'm sure there was a Europa League home game where was it Real Sociedad?
The first game.
Yeah, Real Sociedad, yeah, first one.
But that was when Fred played in the 10, and I don't think that says a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Fred is a 10.
Yeah.
That's right. We don't want to play Fred in the 10. Yeah.
And I don't think Ten Hag's stupid enough to do that kind of thing, innit? Again.
Yeah, that's mad. People are saying Eriksen has been playing poor for the last 4 straight games, even against West Ham. You know what it is? Eriksen was poor against Real Sociedad, but I keep telling everyone, like, and especially I'm going to come to you, why is everyone like so obsessed with, with Eriksen, man? Like, he was meant to be a free transfer, a guy who's meant to make us, like an added quality, not the main quality. That's what I kind of said about Eriksen. And I don't know what people want. He's going to have dip in form. He's, like I said, I don't know, man. I just think for me, he's still our best creative outlet in that midfield. But he's playing a lot of games and he maybe is getting tired. But the fact that we're overusing him, it's not a great sign because he just shows you our depth in that midfield. It's not really great. Obviously, Donny's coming back, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the midfield is a problem and we lack options, squad depth, and then quality-wise, we need more, and we should strengthen that in January or next summer, ideally January, but we will see about that. But we need more quality. I mean, we could do with a Frankie de Jong now. I mean, I think at the moment, Eriksen is playing the sort of Frankie de Jong role, ball carrying and passing between the lines, finding other players. And the thing is with Eriksen, I mean, I was excited when we signed him, and I think he would bring a lot more football ability than we've seen with Fred and McTominay, which is in my opinion a footballing midfield. And with the way Ten Hag wants to play, possession play is important. But I agree with you, say that Eriksen's playing a little bit too much football for him, and you see that he's just taking a little bit too much time on the ball or turning around. It just needs to be a little bit quicker. And maybe it is fitness, but we don't really have backup options for Eriksen who can fill almost the same role as what he's doing now. I mean, you could put Donny there, but as Stepman said, he doesn't have the passing range with what Eriksen has, and I agree with that. Donny's more like a short pass sort of player, and Eriksen has maybe the bit more vision to see spaces, who can play the long ball and dictate the play better. So we need more options there. So we need to strengthen that.
Yeah, and obviously with the Martial situation, I don't know if he's back, but Ronaldo up top again. Is that what you reckon? Is he playing a lot of games then? You know what I mean? Statman, can he do it, Ronaldo, for you again against Aston Villa? Is that the right one to go? Would you play Rashford up top, get Garnacho on the left? What are you thinking?
I think he plays Ronaldo and then rests him on Thursday against Villa in the League Cup. I think that's probably the wisest thing to do. Then maybe, let's be honest, the best case scenario is Martial's on the bench tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe you can get 10, 20 minutes tomorrow and then obviously a bit longer against Villa in the League Cup. But I think for now, I think Ronaldo still plays.
You know what it is with Ronaldo's situation is that I feel like for me, we have to cater towards Ronaldo, Wes, in terms of our pressing, in terms of our shape up front, and we then do kind of get back into our shell because we can't press as high as we wanted to do, especially the game against West Ham. They were very, very easy to receive the ball and kind of move with the ball, free up the pitch. Do you think with the Ronaldo situation that it's going to be a kind of one where we just have to wait until Martial gets back and we can be a bit more free flowing in that sense?
Yeah, Martial is like more. I don't want to use the word more complete, but he has more like Martial's like more of a ball carrier. Like when he gets the ball in his feet, and he can maybe open up defense more, drive at players, and Ronaldo is a different type of striker. But I think at the moment, if Martial's fit, I probably wouldn't start him because the risk of him getting injured again is just too big, and you don't want to take the risk. So ideally, would we play Ronaldo? It depends. It all depends on the options we have available. But for now, I would stick with him. But I think we're a better team, and we've seen that so far when Martial was fit. Doesn't mean Ronaldo can do a job, but I probably would start Ronaldo. Yeah.
People are saying Sancho is still unwell. We'll have to find out with that one. I don't know probably find out tonight when the embargo press conferences comes out. But Garnacho's an interesting one, Statman. Garnacho, for me, over Elanga. But if you want to announce yourself in the Premier League and do something, now's the time, isn't it?
And listen, he's taking his chances over.
Yeah.
Like as I said, the biggest thing that I can praise about Garnacho is what I've seen of Garnacho in the academy to what I've seen now is the exact same thing. In terms of every single time he gets the ball, he's a risk taker. He wants to drive at people. And normally when you see a young player coming through, you might say, especially when they first get the chance, you might say they might be in like the shell kind of thing, innit? Might be a bit shy on the pitch, but he's anything but that. And that's why I listen, full credit to Garnacho. Does he start tomorrow? Listen, that's 10 choice, isn't it? If he starts, I'm not going to complain. If he doesn't start, I can understand it because he's still a young kid, isn't it? But no matter what, he's an exciting option for 10 turf. Yeah. Because he does something a lot of our wingers don't do other than maybe Rashford, which is get the ball and drive, take people on, make those runs in behind, which I think someone like Sancho, for example, down that side doesn't do enough.
Absolutely. I think he's exciting to watch, man. He's dynamic. He's got that bit of that about him. Someone said there, he's raw and unpredictable. This is what you want, though. It kind of gives you something that I think, we've not had in a while. Obviously, Rashford was the latest one, but he's kind of maybe getting back to that form. But it's always exciting, isn't it, Wes, when you've got a youngster who's very, very fearless, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very exciting. And he is grabbing the opportunity. And he is a goal-scoring threat, and we need that at the moment. He can create. He is dynamic. He has the pace to get behind the defense. So whether he starts or not, he will be a very, very valuable player to have for tomorrow to create chances. And he's doing well at the moment. I'm happy for him.
And tomorrow as well, obviously Varane is still out. Who are we going for, Lindelof or Maguire? You reckon he'll go? I think he'll go with Maguire again. If he's played him already, I think
It's
he'll play him.
Lindelof.
No chance.
Ten Hag even said it like before the West Ham game. I think it was that it would have been Lindelof. If Lindelof was, if it would have been Lindelof if he was well.
Oh, okay.
Ten Hag is very smart because a journalist asked.
To be fair, Lindelof was unwell anyway. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I'm just thinking because of the way Ten Hag tries to do things, he likes to kind of keep a bit of consistency.
Yeah, but Lindelof played on Thursday as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, Lindelof played on Thursday. Yeah, that's true. So for me, it's got to be Lindelof. I think he's been an underrated kind of centre back pairing. Lindelof and Martinez. I thought he wouldn't work, but it has actually worked well. I think how many goals have they conceded? I don't think they've conceded many. Lindelof and Martinez. When you look at it, they started against. Did they come against Everton? Was it Everton? What else? What games has been there? Newcastle didn't concede. West Ham.
Newcastle.
Obviously, they didn't play together. Who was it else they played?
No, but this is the thing. Like I said, luckily in a way, Rafa Varane got injured at the perfect time. In terms of these sort of games, you expect us to dominate the ball, dominate the game a bit more. And Victor Lindelof, in my eyes, is still better on the ball than Rafa Varane.
Yeah.
Which is why, listen, fair play to Victor Lindelof because he's waited on the bench, taking his chance now. And listen, he can just continue playing. I really hope we don't bring him Maguire.
Yep, 100%. Lindelof, I don't think he rates Maguire. The thing is, with the manager, I think he's got a certain eye on what he wants. I think he's got, like, Wan-Bissaka, you can tell he's like a no-go. I think Maguire, at the minute, it's just a case of because he's available and because there's nothing else there. What's happened to Malacia? Let me come to you, Wes. Malacia. Obviously, there's a Malacia Shaw debate. Statman prefers Shaw. I prefer Malacia, if I'm being honest with you. You know what I mean? I want Malacia to start and gain that momentum. Malacia, why is he, in terms of Feyenoord, he was a very, very good left back. What have you made of him so far in his career?
I mean, we're always watching it's called the Klassieker, like Ajax Feyenoord. I mean, he's been very impressive and a lot of energy, always up and down the pitch. Good defensively, good, also good going forward. But there's room for improvement because I don't think he's that good in putting a good cross in like Shaw has. So Shaw at the moment delivers a little bit more from the wings. But he's an exciting player, and he will always fight for every ball and have that mentality. You need that, but I don't think we can expect too much from him because he's still learning. It's a massive step. Don't forget from Feyenoord to Man United, it's a massive step, and Man United is a big club when you're in Holland. I mean, every player in Holland knows Man United, and it's different level. So I don't think Malacia went there with the intention of I'm going to be the first left back. I think, of course, maybe he thought that way, but I think he will be realistic enough that it's going to be difficult, and he wants to grab every opportunity. But the good thing with what Malacia has done is he brought up the level of Luke Shaw. You can't deny that. I mean, Luke Shaw has massively been improved. I thought Luke Shaw was maybe average last season. He wasn't himself, and he was far from his best. And Malacia made sure that he's right there. That if Shaw isn't playing well or doing enough in the game, then you also have Malacia as an option. So I think Malacia's done very well, and I'm super happy for him. But would I start at the moment? Luke Shaw is in great form, and he offers a little bit more attacking than Malacia at the moment. So do you think with Shaw?
Do you think overall he could be a better left back than Luke Shaw?
I don't know. I mean, there is a future in Malacia, and I think he can develop in the starting left back. But I mean, Luke Shaw has the experience, so there's at the moment there is a big difference, and the experience helps Luke Shaw. So he's still adapting Malacia, but for sure he can be a future first left back. But at the moment, I mean, when he gets his chance, he should take it. But I'm super happy that we have those two options on the left, and ideally you want the same on the right. with Dalot and another right back. So, but he can push Shaw out, and in the beginning he did very well. I mean, he got thrown in out of the blue against Liverpool and Arsenal, and although Saka got maybe the better of him, that was maybe his worst game, Malaysia. He just stuck with it and got back to the basics, and he saw the game out and got gradually better and better by the game, or by the minutes. So, yeah, I'm happy with those two. But at the moment, I think Shaw is just a little bit better. But that's also down to Shaw himself and Malaysia for the competition. So it's great to have those two.
Yeah, Shaw's playing. He's playing well. He's doing his thing. You know what I mean? And fair play. You know what I mean? Statman, you can't knock him. He's probably United's. You know what I mean? It says Casemiro, Luke Shaw, Lisandro Martinez. They're the three right now that are standing out very, very highly, aren't they?
And 3 players that are very technically secure.
Yeah.
And that's something. Remember last year we said we need up the technical qualities of the side. Luke Shaw technically is very good. Martinez is one of the best in the world in my eyes at centre back in terms of technical qualities. Casemiro, as I said, the ball that he played the other day to Dalot in the first half against West Ham.
Yeah.
Second to none kind of thing, isn't it? And listen, like you have to take the pluses with Luke Shaw right now. Right now he's playing well. Needs to keep it up because if we're seeing this Luke Shaw, there's not many better left backs in the league. I've always said that for me, currently he's the second best left back in the league in this walk. Behind, obviously, João Cancelo, who did get sent off today.
Yep, got sent off. Yeah, got sent off. Yeah. Yeah, so listen, let's find out. Let's get our predictions in. I'm going to go for 2-1 United. Wes, what are you going for?
You want the realistic one or the optimistic one?
Wherever you feel like.
Okay, I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say 2-1 United win.
What do you say, Statman?
1-0.
1-0, yeah, tight game. Everyone say tight game. Let me know in the comments as well, man. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like the video. There's only 100 likes of the video. There's 300 people watching, so I don't know why we haven't got more likes. So let's hit the like button on the video if you enjoyed it. 3-1 United, 2-0 clean sheet, says Lucky Singh. So listen, I feel like for me, I think it will be a game where we will be very, very much tested. I think we will be like under the cosh for most of it. I think they battered Chelsea as well, and they lost the game, so they can turn it up in their stadium. So listen, we'll find out, man. But listen, people, we're gonna wrap it up here. Big up to everybody who was locked in. Like I said, man, support the channel, subscribe to the channel if you're new, subscribe to Statman Baines' channel. Link is in the description. Also, Wes, you have a channel as well, I believe.
Yeah, I've just started, and I did some previews and some match reactions. But I need to get back to that. Sometimes I just need to figure out what I really think. I just don't want to get too reactionary after certain games. So yeah, I have a channel. It's the same as my Twitter. It's West Express Football. So
West Express Football. So make sure you go subscribe to his channel. Big up to everybody who's locked in. I'll be back tomorrow for the watch along. Enjoy the rest of your evening.